tempted twice. Now, what I thought interesting here was that the old prophet was labeled there as an old prophet. Now, what I thought was interesting about the word old prophet is that to me, an old means decrepit. It means, run down. It might mean, not in use anymore, not able to be used anymore. If I said I had an old fridge, you'd probably expect, like the one we gave away tonight, maybe not to run so well anymore. You wouldn't trust it anymore. If I said I had an old car or something, it'd be like, oh, it might be broken. It's not in use anymore. It's not my primary vessel. It's broken. It should be cast aside. It should be at the scrap heap. So it was amazing here that he was referred to as the old prophet. What I think is interesting, I was speaking to one person actually at Farm Fantastic, and he's a preacher we all know, Brad Carver, and he said that he had retired from his church, basically that he'd sold his church. And to me, I thought, that's really odd. Why would you sell or retire from your church? I thought that was really, really odd. When do we just give up and retire Christianity? When does a pastor just choose not to be a pastor anymore? When does an evangelist just choose, oh, well, I've done my stint, that's it, 60 years or whatever that they retire, here's your superannuation packet, see you later. That's not the way that it works in the kingdom of God. We are his and do his purpose until the time that he takes breath out of our bodies. So here to be referred to as an old prophet means only to me that he was old prophet not because God retired him, but because something happened in his life that God said, that's it, I'm done with you. That's the only way that God would ever retire somebody. Like in that type of way, I cut you off. I cut you from my church. You don't just retire. You don't get the option to just, pastor here doesn't just get the option next year to say, I retire, I give in, I give it to somebody else. That's not how the church works. What is he to do then? What are we to do then? Do we just give up Christianity? Oh, I can't evangelize anymore. Well, then what are you then? I can't plant seed for God anymore. Well, what are you then? Here's an old prophet here. So the old prophet God does not have age limits. A prophet can be a prophet all the days of his life. He need not retire. A preacher, pastor, evangelist, musician, teacher, saint never retires. They never grow old. Why don't they grow old? Because there is a spirit inside of them. There is a soul inside of them that doesn't age. Till Heidi can, seizes up, maybe with arthritis or something one day, she'll keep playing the piano. Until our pastor just can't breathe anymore or, can't talk anymore, then he'll keep on talking, and then he'll just keep on typing or then he'll keep on looking at us, We don't retire from where we're at. So he was tempted twice. If we read there in verse 15, remember this is what the old prophet said to him. Then he said unto him, come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I may not return with thee. This is the man of God. I may not return with thee, nor go in with thee. Neither will I eat bread nor drink water with thee in this place. For it was said to me by the word of the Lord, thou shalt eat no bread nor drink water there, nor turn again to go by the way that thou comest. And he said unto him, this is the old prophet, I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, bring him back with thee into thine house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him. He lied unto him. The old prophet lied unto him. I was reading there these words, and I am a prophet also, as thou art, and an angel spake unto me. An angel spake unto me. An angel means a messenger. But if it was God that spake unto him, he would have said God. So who was the angel that he was speaking of? Could it perhaps have been his sons that he was speaking of? He's just making this allusion that God spoke to him. Like how many times do we hear of false preachers out there saying, oh, I had this vision and God spoke to me. I had this dream and God told me. Like how many times do we hear about, these people that go around giving private prophecies on people, and they'll blah, 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 blah over somebody, and somebody will say, God told me that I'm to do this and I'm to do that. And, we met another person at Farm Fantastic, the Biggs. Do you remember the Biggs? And the daughter of the Biggs isn't married, isn't in a relationship or anything like that. So, she's obviously not going to have children. But Kay was sure that God had promised, that, God had told her that she was going to have many grandchildren, and that her daughter was going to give her lots of children and all this type of stuff. And it was because somebody prophesied to her that God said this and blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, my goodness, just rest in God. Let him, be your life. But here God, has obviously told some angel, put it over her life to say that this is what's going to happen. And so this poor Rebecca that we know, she's all worried and worried about how she's going to get all these children for her mother, and, thinking that she's not doing what God's told her to do. And, it's all just messed up. But here is the angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord. Somebody told him something, and he thought he'd just add the angel of the Lord told him, and that somebody would believe him. And unfortunately, he did believe him. That's what happened. He lied. Remember there? He lied. He cheated. He lied. He told an untruth. In fact, he told evil. He wrapped evil in a cloak of untruth. He wrapped evil in a cloak of false truths even. You know how sometimes we can make a truth look like make a lie look like it's a truth, but really just on the inside it's evil and it's bad and it's a lie. But sometimes, out there in the world, in the other churches, in the Babylonian churches, we can hear what they say and we think, that doesn't sound too bad. But that's just because it is a lie wrapped up in false truth. A truth that might be true in a worldly sense, but it's false truth. So it will just bring death and damnation. It is a lie, nothing more, nothing less. He wanted the man of God to abase himself to the old prophet's level. Perhaps this old prophet was a little bit envious. How come God used him to do all of this stuff? And how come God isn't using me? And, I want him to come and, maybe if I get him to come home with me, then I can feel like we're the same. Have you ever felt that sometimes where it's a tall poppy syndrome, somebody's doing so well, so it's like, just pull them down here and I'll feel better. Whereas they're not just realizing that they need to step up. The old prophet needed to be renewed. He needed to go back to where he came from. He needed to get saved once again. He wanted to control the man of God. If he didn't want to control the man of God, he would have let the man of God go on his own way. He wouldn't have made up a lie. If the old prophet had said, come and eat from my house, come with me and eat, and the man of God said, oh no, I can't. God said no. He'd be like, if he was just a nice guy, he'd be like, oh well, if God said it, see you later, wish you well. Thanks for helping out back at the altar, thanks very much. But no, he wanted to control him. He wanted to deceive him. He wanted to bring him down to his level. He wanted to offer a seemingly superior position. He wanted power and control, this old prophet did. Something that he wanted himself. He wanted that truth, but he couldn't quite get it. So he was like, well, let's just destroy this person then. Let's bring him in and destroy him. Let me make up a lie. See if this will work for him. Verse 19, it says, so he went back with him and did eat bread in his house